Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Really excited to be back. Again, I'm Allison. I'm the creator of Embodied Dance, and I have a 20-year background in the healing arts as well as movement. So I led us through a breathwork and clearing meditation last week, and I will be doing something similar this week, and I'm also going to share a little bit of a movement practice at the very end. So I've put something in the description, so hopefully, if you're interested and want to learn more, that you can find me. But I hope you've been having a beautiful time in this group with the work of really letting your body speak to you through what it's releasing, what it's reclaiming, and just taking the time to actually be with the core self and to understand how necessary and important it is that we come home to ourselves through this deep listening. And I'm just really happy to be here and share this with you. So, in today's exploration, what we'll be doing is again diving into a healing, clearing activation that will move energy in your body. Um, and then I'm going to bring it into just a brief section of embodied movement. And again, nobody can see you, so you feel free to do whatever you want, right? Um, and we're going to again stay with a bit of the focus of the heart and the sacral, right? So the heart and the sacral are very highly targeted areas energetically on this planet because of the power that they hold. Um, Maybe for obvious reasons and maybe less obvious reasons, right? So the obvious reasons is like the sacral, our power center, like our ability to give life and literally birth, right? Is the sacral on a very superficial level, right? And then the heart is kind of, in my opinion, like the portal to the divine and the absolute necessary connection that we must have in order to be living a life that's both fulfilling and fulfilled. So when these two areas are sort of blocked off, or in most of us, they're kind of cut off from each other, right? There's a whole reason for that that maybe I'll talk about maybe next week, but um, it can create a lot of disconnection and a lot of hardship in our lives when we are sort of disembodied from ourselves. And if you feel disembodied from yourself, I want to say that it's not your fault, really, even. Like, we live in a planet and time where the emphasis is on hustle, distraction, division, um, pulling you constantly into the mind all day, and very, very little time to actually breathe, sense, feel, and know. And when you are fully in your body, you are fully in your power. You have that level of discernment and self trust that no one can take from you. So it's my absolute joy and honor to really share some of this work with you and some of these practices, because ultimately it's kind of giving you the keys back to your own body. And when you have the keys back to your own body, you are sovereign, you are free, right? Um, there's a lot of things in this world that are going to try to pull you in all sorts of directions, and you want to have that real sure alignment of knowing your compass, right? It's a very individual experience. So let's go ahead and dive into this healing, clearing activation, and then we'll leave a little time at the end for some movement. I'm going to go for about 15 minutes more. And so this is just like something that you can fit into your day, and it's not like, going to take a lot of time, because even though, we're trying to like stay in the embodiment, I'm aware that people are on schedules and busy. So let's go ahead and close the outer eyes and really take a moment to bring the body into symmetry so that the right and left side of the body are both doing the same things. So just kind of feeling that the shoulders are dropping down from the ears and the weight is pouring into your pelvis. And that you're able to relax through the physical body So it's funny, like when I start doing clearing, it actually like makes me belch a little bit. So it's kind of like what's happening in the field. So if you hear me do that, it's funny. It's an aspect of clearing. So just softening and relaxing the face, especially the forehead and the third eye. So the third eye in our pineal gland, we're going to work with a little bit today and also next week. Next week will be my last session. So I want you to kind of soften and tune into the third eye space right between the brow as well as your pineal gland, right? And just to notice what you feel in this space today. Does that feel kind of open? Does it feel closed? How would you describe that for yourself? And I'm just going to give you a clearing statement that's from this work called Access Consciousness, where they have this clearing statement that uses the words I destroy and uncreate, followed by a lot of like kind of subconscious blocks of, what are those called? When you kind of like abbreviations of words, right? So it's going to sound like gibberish, right? So anything standing in the way of really having a true perception in our third eye space, so anything standing in the way of that, we destroy and uncreate now. Good, bad, right, wrong, pock, pod, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So just clearing the third eye of any and all residue, clearing the third eye of any interference, any frequencies, energies, whether they're 5G, AI. We're up against a lot of interesting things these days. So again, just really clearing your focus in your third eye space, casting out all distractions, all distortions. And you might hear me, I'm just doing a little bit of light language softly in the background, which just to help aid this clearing. So just clearing into that third eye space, again, asking any and all energies, frequencies, beings, thought forms, entities that are not a part of your highest timeline, highest will, and highest good. We release now back to source or back to sender. And we destroy and uncreate anything that's standing in the way of you being fully present in your ability to perceive truth. We destroy and uncreate all of that now. Good, bad, right, wrong, pock, pod, all nine shorts, boys, beyond. Again, that is a form of access consciousness, what you're hearing me say. Good. So just feeling now that we're beginning to drop a little deeper into the body, out of the mind, and you're becoming aware of the spine. And you're allowing a full breath to really erect through the spine. And to soften and release down the spine, imagining lots of space between the vertebrae. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, feeling the weight of the pelvis relax, arms relax, legs relax. Knowing in this moment that you are fully safe. And it is good and right for you to be in the present moment, where all of your power lies. And just allowing the breath to come into that deepest place in the lower belly. Hey, Lovey. Allowing the breath to come into the deepest place of the lower belly and allowing that area to expand into the front, side, and back of your body, right? So imagining the whole diaphragm just expanding 360 degrees, all directions. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you're releasing down and out through the legs, any heaviness, any tension, any stress. So you're just kind of letting the lower body soften as you're allowing and giving permission for these denser energies to release with your exhale. Allowing the belly to expand with a deep, long inhale through the nose. And allowing out, again, this exhale that's just going to remove and release from you any dense old, stuck vibrations that you are holding that you are ready to let go of. And you might begin to feel a little more grounded and relaxed. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling through the nose, expanding deepest, lowest part of the belly. Exhaling, releasing all energy, stress, and tension that you're carrying that either doesn't belong to you or that is ready to go at this time. Really softening into the earth, feeling held and met by the earth. One last time, inhaling, expanding the breath into the low belly. Exhaling, letting that release. And as we are in this focus of cleanse, I'm sure you've thought of and done some work already in a bunch of different regards with different practitioners around what it is that you're releasing and letting go of. So just mindfully bringing that into your awareness now, what it is that you are ready to be done with in thought, in pattern, in relation. And just letting that float into your awareness and consciously also affirming that you are releasing this piece that no longer connects you to what's highest and best for you. And then honoring this piece as it leaves, knowing that perhaps it served you at one point. And feeling grateful even for the things that we're releasing. So once again, I'm going to guide you into a journey of the sacral and the heart a little deeper today. So again, we're just going to cast out any and all energies, vibrations, thought forms that do not resonate with this work today. We're going to call in a beautiful golden source light from the heart of God, Creator, coming in into the crown of the head, imagining a beautiful golden diamond light pouring in through the crown. And if you're feeling the crown sort of blocked, just asking that all capping on the crown be removed. And just allowing any netting or anything that's standing in the way of you receiving this beautiful golden source light to be removed now. Drawing in a beautiful aqua diamond light through the energies of Mother Earth and the Holy Mother, coming up and into the heart space. And we're going to again begin to breathe into the heart just as we were into that lower belly. So we're going to breathe into the heart space, almost that 360 degrees. So inhaling through the nose, breathing into the heart space. So letting the lungs expand in all directions. And as you exhale, just kind of feeling a softness in the chest and the shoulders. As you kind of, what I'm sensing here is releasing expectations around giving and receiving. And the grief that we might be holding in the chest around expectations of giving and receiving. So the heart, because it's kind of connected to the arms, right, is a lot about this giving and receiving principle. So just allowing that to begin to soften as you breathe out. I'm going to do this several more times, inhaling into the heart, allowing that to expand, full body breath through the nose. And as you exhale again, just softening, releasing expectations around giving and receiving. And as you take 2 more rounds of this, I want you to also begin to think of what are you consciously or unconsciously preventing from coming into your field because maybe you don't think it's possible. Right, so we're just clearing out again some of these, I'll call them maybe disappointments that we're breathing out from the heart space. So inhaling through the nose, breathing out disappointments or expectations of giving and receiving. And then we're going to now inhale and open into the heart. As we've cleared some of this out, what is possible? What is a new possibility that we can open into, that maybe we've had a glass ceiling around in terms of our receiving, in terms of our giving? What is new and possible in the heart space to give and receive? You might feel the heart soften and relax here. And now we're going to create again this exchange between sacral and heart. And I want you to ask the heart, what is the energy that it wants to support the sacral with? And what I mean by that is, how can this energy of unconditional love and presence and compassion support your creative ability to birth something really beautiful and unique? How does this compassionate, heartfelt presence support your pleasure, your deep ability to feel in the body, your boundaries? So just think of one thing that the heart wants to support the sacral with, and just allow that to arise in your consciousness for a few breaths. So try to imagine a word, a phrase, maybe an archetype, maybe just, see what comes to mind. It could be expanding pleasure and strengthening boundaries. All right, just giving example. And definitely write this down somewhere next to you if you have something to write with, because we're going to use this in a minute for our embodiment. So what does the heart want to offer as support to the sacral? Just spend the last few breaths with that. Giving love and compassion for that which is birthing or yet to birth. And how does that want to express itself through movement? So is it a soft energy? Is it a sharp energy? Is it quick? Is it slow? And just notice how the heart wants to offer that. Again, is it soft or sharp or quick or slow? And just write that down for yourself. And now we're going to go to the sacral, and we're going to, again, just really feel in this beautiful creation center of our body that is so powerful. This is our magnetism. This is where our aliveness lives, right? So in strengthening the connection with the sacral, your ability to really draw things into you and your ability to really come into alignment, that which is for you, is also a big piece of this. So as you're tuning into the sacral and the things that are of your creative essence, your pleasure, your connection to your boundaries, right? Your connection to what it is that you are birthing in the world. It can be a garden, it can be a business, it can be a piece of music, it can be a poem, it can be anything. But what are you birthing into the world? And how can this energy of pleasure and boundaries and creative expansion support your heart journey? What does the sacral want to give to the heart? Maybe the sacral is reminding the heart that love is supposed to be pleasurable and easy. What does the sacral want the heart to know or receive? And just spend a few more moments with that. It might even be a visual image, of what the sacral is offering the heart. And maybe you want to write that down for yourself and then kind of asking again the same questions. How does that energy want to move from sacral to heart? Is it kind of like soft, or is it really like, I don't want to say sharp, but is it sort of like direct and like quick and like really, kind of definite as opposed to just soft? Is it slower or is it faster in terms of movement? And just write those things down for yourself. How does that want to move? First thought, best thought. And for the last 4 minutes, I'm just going to put on a piece of music. And the unfortunate thing is I'm not on Zoom, so I can't like share my music with you. So it might not come as clear as it would if I was on Zoom. But anyway, I'm going to share some music. And for 4 minutes or so, I just want you to play in this interchange of energy of the heart moving and offering to the sacral, energy of the sacral moving and offering to the heart. And as we do this, it's kind of like a little dance, literally. So obviously I can't see you, so I'm not watching you. You can be as free as you want to be. I'm just going to move my laptop over here. And I'm going to move with you for the next few minutes. So if you're still on, Tess, maybe you can let me know if you hear this music. Can you hear this music? Okay, I'm not sure if she's here, but so here's the music we're going to use, and if you can hear it, wonderful. You can hear it. Okay, great. So here we go. Take your time. So letting that come to a close. Maybe placing one hand on the heart, one hand on the sacral, and just closing the eyes and then allowing for this breath and connection one more time. Noticing how you feel in the body, if you feel a little more energized and cleared and open. And what you've received in some of the movement, because sometimes the movement that comes to you, sometimes it brings tears to my eyes because the body has its own language that it's of the soul, really. So when you tap into it, it will often bring you to tears. So, yeah, just kind of tuning in with that for another moment or two. Taking a moment of gratitude for your beautiful self, your beautiful ability to be in this moment of aliveness and connection, and all of the beautiful things that will ripple out as a result of this today. So we're kind of like activating this kind of new sphere for you to come into your heart and sacral, really your power and your love. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining and dancing with me a little bit and moving through some of this energy. If you want to connect or know more, I've put my website there, or feel free to message me if you have any questions on what we did today. I will be back. Oh, lovely, Tess. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. I know I want to connect with you. I'll be back next Wednesday, I guess it's May next week. It's May. So I'll be back for the last bit of the cleanse, which is, I think it's May 3rd at noon Eastern. So thank you so much for journeying with me, and I will see you next week. And so much love to you. Love you, Tess. See you all soon.